What's going on? It's your pals Alchemic here. Today we are going to be doing a tutorial of Palworld. I know a lot of you all are excited to start your journey, but before you do, there's actually some good things to collect before you walk out this cave. And I'll show you where they are. So we're going to turn around here real quick. The first thing that we are going to collect is a journal. And then a second thing is a treasure chest down here. In this treasure chest, we'll just have some goodies to help us get started on our adventure. 3 Pal Spheres. As easy as that. And some gold. Your treasure chest might be a little bit different than mine, but it's just a little thing to help you get started on your journey. Here's the second treasure chest. Here we go. Another Pal Sphere, some medical supplies, and more coins. So coins will be used for merchants. You can trade with merchants in this game to acquire some different items. And then the Pal Spheres are like the Pokeballs of this game. And they allow you to catch the Pals. So the first thing that you should do when you come out this game is activate this fast travel spot. And when you do, you'll unlock a technology point. We will go over technology points here in a minute after we level up. And the second thing you should do is talk to the survivor. When you're done talking to them, they will give you 10 wood to start you off on your adventure. So one of the most important things to do early game is just to farm up resources. You'll go through resources very quickly. So stone, wood, and palladium fragments, and then food. So here is your menu. It has your inventory, and then when you get weapons and armors and accessories. And then here on the right hand side has your player level, your health points, your hunger bar, and then your stat points. When you level up, you can increase your stats. I think there's only 3 stats that are essential to level up. And that's health, stamina, and weight. Health is just for survivability. Stamina will help you swim, run longer, chop down trees, gather resources, and then when you start flying and riding on your pals, it'll allow you to do those things for a long time. Then weight is important because that's just how much you can carry. And the more you can hold, the less time you're having to travel back and forth between base. So that's what I'm going to upgrade first. The reason that attack and work speed aren't as necessary is because the further along you get in the game, for attack you'll use your pals, and they'll be the ones that deal more damage than you do, regardless of how much you increase your attack. And then work speed, when you create your base, you'll have pals that will work faster than you, so it's not very beneficial to increase those stats. So now we're going to go over technology. When you level up, you also get technology points down here at the bottom left. So this is the technology tree. Each level grants you access to more items to be able to unlock using technology points. This first tree here, it's important to just unlock all of them. All of these items will be essential for creating your base. Once we get to level 3 and beyond, that's when you start being more selective with how you spend your technology points. So right now we're just going to start farming up resources for our base. So the first thing that we are going to craft is going to be a bench, a workbench. And with the workbench, it's going to allow us to make several different items: pal spheres, wooden clubs, handheld torches, a pickaxe, and a stone axe. I recommend go ahead starting with the pickaxe and the stone axe, because they will assist you in gathering your resources at a quicker pace. So let's continue farming up some resources. I don't know if you see that pink cat in the background, but that's going to be one of our first pals. Probably the most important early game pal to catch. I'll go into reasons why it's important here in a minute after we catch one. Okay. Let's go back to our workbench. So a club will be a way for you to defend yourself in this game. You can use it to weaken pals for you to capture, and it could be used basically as a means of defense. Now this handheld torch is important if you do not get your base built before nighttime. Nighttime, there is weather effects in this game, and if you don't have certain armor, then you will be susceptible to cold and start taking damage at night. So that's why we build the torch, just for early game. Okay. Like I said, always farm while you can. And let's find those cat view. Let's weaken him real quick. It is always better to weaken the pals before you throw a ball. Especially here in the early game, you can make sure you get 100% catch rate versus not 100%. So here's a cat view. The reason why it's important early game. First is partner skill, cat helper. It'll increase your carrying capacity while it's in your party. It increases your carrying capacity by 50. You can see now my weight's at 400. And And then the other reason is for when we build our base, it has different work suitability skills. It has handiwork, transporting, mining, and gathering. So it's very useful. And I'm going to actually catch another one. I'm going to fill my whole party up with cavias. I don't know if you noticed there on the bottom right, but we did get experience for catching the cavia. You get bonus experience while catching pals for the first 10 times. So if you're looking to gather experience early game to start unlocking that technology tree, it's a good way to gather experience just by catching 10 of the same type of pals. See, I don't know if you all noticed there's 97, now 98%. So it's pretty close to 100, but if you don't want to risk the potential of not getting the PAL, then you might want to weaken it a little bit more than I did. So there's that green item over there. We're going to go over to it. It's very important because it allows you to upgrade your character's catch rate. So, well, first, this little blue ore only drops palladium fragments. Palladium fragments are very important. They are required for pal spheres, but they're also required for other equipment later on in the game for you to be able to craft. But yeah, so that Lift Monk effigy is important. If you ever see one in the wild, collect it because it will allow you to increase your catch rate. And the first level up is 1 effigy, the second one's 4, and then it just continuously increases from there. Okay. These chickpeas are good for after you build your base. You'll be able to farm eggs from them. And then the lamb balls are good because you'll be able to farm wool. But right now, I'm just worried about gathering enough materials to be able to build a base. I'm going to try chase down this cat via. They're quick. That's why I think I leveled up. Yes, I actually leveled twice. That's why I recommend getting the old bow too, because once you hit a pal, they'll be aggroed onto you. They won't run away as much. Shoddy bed is useful for your base. It allows you to sleep, and if your pals are injured or KO'd and you sleep, if the pals in your party, if you sleep, they'll be revived and their HP will be restored. Straw pal bed's important because if you deploy your pals at your base, they need a place to sleep, and if you don't have enough beds for each of your pals, then they'll start to get upset and they won't be as efficient at working. And then cloth is important because you'll need cloth as a component to be able to build materials such as this cloth outfit here. The common shield is important because it gives you a secondary health bar almost. It'll absorb some damage. The cloth outfit's important because it increases your defense. The feed box is important because when you start building your base, you'll build a berry plantation, and they'll put the berries from the plantation in the feed box, and the pals will automatically feed themselves. So it's all very helpful, and it will work towards the automation of your base. Here's another chest, but this one requires a copper key to get. I do feel like it's more important early game to increase your carrying capacity, and then work on stamina and health a little bit after the first couple levels. A big factor when looking for a place to build your base, you want a flat land, because when you're building, if it's not flat, some of the buildings won't be able to be created. They'll be going into the slope of the land. Another thing that we would like to look for is a rock area like this. These will allow you to mine ore. So ore is a very important material for you to have because it'll allow you to produce ingots later on in the game. And don't worry if you catch more than 5 pals in the beginning, because when you build your pal box, you'll be able to access the pals that you catch over 5 from that box. Let's try and make here a place for our base. It looks fairly flat, and there's an ore deposit. Wonderful. And now we can use one of the catvias. So one of the first things that you'll need to build is a place for your pals to go to sleep. Some people like to have like columns and rows for the pals. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna build my house over here. And this is why we farm so much wood. So for a house, it's best to be at least 2x2 or 3x2, because if you do a one plank house, your bed will take up about half of the house in by itself. Yeah, I'm gonna do a 3x3 just for aesthetic purposes. You will have to cut down any potential trees or mine any rocks that could be in the way of you placing the foundation for your house. And as you see here, it's night. I don't have any clothes, so I am taking some frost damage since I'm not holding that torch I mentioned earlier. But here in a second, we will finish building our house, and we will build another crafting table. I really do like the view of this lookout here. There it goes. I think it's very scenic. So the reason we're building the walls here is because you have to have a roof over your head in order to place the bed down and sleep in it. Oh, see, here's a merchant that I was telling you about earlier. So you can talk to them and see what they have in stock. Oh, some schematics. I have enough gold to buy a couple. Let's go with, I'm gonna go with the Pink King hat. Let's finish building our house now. Sometimes it is easier to build the roof first. Here, I'll show you if you attempt to build a bed. We'll first have to get some wool. The way to get wool is you can capture one of these lane balls here. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll capture a chickpea too, because chickpeas are good for in your base to farm eggs. Remember just to always pick up stuff off the ground while you're out in the world. Wonderful. And you can see now in our inventory we have some wool to make the bed. Let's go back to our house, or to our base. I think building a good foundation for your base should be the first thing you do before you start exploring the world and taking on bosses. Just because while you're out, your pals can still farm for you. If you have a crafting table, like, I'll go ahead and make a crafting table or a workbench. Now, and I'll leave and while I'm finishing up my house, the Catvia can make that wool. Okay. And you can pick whichever walls you like aesthetically for your house. So whatever you think looks nice. But look at that view. I don't think you can hardly beat it. And let's do some triangular roofs just for aesthetic purposes. There we go. Sometimes getting up on it makes it a lot easier to place the roof. Alright, there we go. There's our house. And look at all that the Catvia produced. And he got that cloth for us. So, a couple things that you should build are just a couple of chests, because your pals can deposit the stone or ore that they mine into the chest, and then you can automatically use them for the workbench. So I think a great thing to focus on early is, if you see these base upgrades, focus on completing a lot of those, because the more you complete, for each one you complete, it increases your base level. And then for each level of your base, you can add an additional pal to help you work at your base. And you can see here the Catvia is depositing the stone into the box. So for the next mission, we need to make a bed. So let's put the bed in here, and we'll go ahead and finish building it. Wonderful. And then we'll go ahead and upgrade our base again. And you see now we have up to 3. Now we can build a feed box, and we need to make a couple more beds for our pals. And you can see there's an example of why flat land's so important at your base. If you don't have flat land, then it can be very difficult, especially with larger buildings, to place them. Okay. And now, the feed box, we need more wood. I'm gonna deploy more Catvias and a wooloo just to produce some wool for us. So as you can see, my weapons damage, and one essential building would be the repair bench. The repair bench allows you to repair your items for a fraction of the cost that it took to build them. I like to have my feed box near where I would have my berry plantation and my ranch, just so it's near, all near the same vicinity. So you'll need those structures to level up your base further after this level. And then you'll need a Pal Gear workbench, which will be very important later on, and a Statue of Power as well. Like I said, for technology points, it's better to just get the items that you need to upgrade your base at first. So let's go ahead. I'm going to build the berry plantation first, just because I like to put the seeds near the berry plantation. And then I'm going to build the ranch as well, just so everything's in close proximity to each other. Just try to make it look aesthetically pleasing. Now, I don't know if you see at the top right, it does give you a tutorial. Those quests are fairly useful for you to complete. It's a pretty good tutorial. It'll get you most of the way. It might not be the most efficient thing, but it'll allow you to get everything going. Let's put it like right over. Looks pretty good. And then once we get these buildings completed, I'll show you some other good pals to have in your base. It's good to have a mixture between some generalists that can do a lot of tasks and some pals that are suited for very specific tasks. Because if a pal has more than one job, it might prioritize doing one job over something that you need it to do, like farming wood or farming stone. Now let's build that feed box. And I'll put it almost just right here. Okay, wonderful. And I'll split my food with them so they have some. Okay, so let's level up our base again and see what will be next. We need to build a campfire. I'm surprised that the berry plantation didn't work. The one that we built, I guess, is just a hair shy outside of our base. So let's see if this works. Yes. So I don't know if you all saw that. If you press on my keyboard, it's B to build. Down here, there's a disassembly mode. If something's slightly out of your base or you don't like the way it looks, you can press that button and it will destroy that building for you. Wonderful. Now, campfire, I'm just going to put it near the middle of my base. Great. We need to build another bed. Another tip you can do, you can also just have your pals out from your party to help you in your base. I know Catvia can't really chop wood, but it can help me build this bed if it so choose to do so. Okay. And now you can see that the PAL gear workbench and the statue of power is available. So let's need more cloth and more wood. This fox part here is a very good PAL to have early game for a couple of reasons. One, he can be a specialist at your base to help you with cooking and later on with your ingots. And then he is also a good PAL to have on your team for battle. Okay. And this is what I was talking about with the Fox Sparks. You can build his harness and you can use him as a weapon. And then here's a logging site and a stone pit. Those are essential to have at your base, because you will have pals that automatically farm wood and stone. So here's at the campfire, you can select different recipes, and that Fox Sparks that we just caught will be the one to go over there and cook for us. So let's go ahead and go sleep in our house. Now that's night. I think it's more beneficial to sleep early game than later on in the game. You can find some really cool pals at night, and it is beneficial to have pals that only come out at night, because then they will work for you all night long. There's some wool. So now we should be able to get crafting. Let's craft some cloth. And then now with this cloth outfit, we don't have to worry about taking cold damage at night. You can see it has level 1 cold resistance. Pal gear, workbench, and statue power. Okay, then let's look at the statue of power. I like to put my statue of power in the middle of my base. I just think it looks really cool and it's a good centerpiece. That's about it. So this is where you will enhance your catch rate, and you can enhance pals. So with the effigy that we got earlier, we're gonna increase our catch rate, and then with V you can click on a pal and you can upgrade a pal if you have one of these. I think they're called pal souls. You can get those from chests. So now let's upgrade our base again. And then after level 6, I think your base will be fairly good. So it will automate wood and it'll automate stone for you. And what I like to do as well with these is put a wooden chest next to them, so when they're done mining or chopping wood, they can place the stone or the wood into the chest. Let's build this logging site. Honestly, you can leave this for your pals to do while you're gone. And another tip is, if you want a pal to do a specific job, say this lamb ball to only produce wool, you can throw him. You can pick him up, and then you can throw him into here, into the ranch, and he'll stay there. So let's go get a couple of pals that will be beneficial for the starting base. You'll need one for watering. There he is, the pangolin. Okay, wonderful. Like I said, anytime you see a fast travel point, go ahead and unlock it. You'll get a technology point, and if you die or from your base, you can transport there. Another okay pal is this Gamas. He'll be good for seeding. But I do think there's a better plant or grass pal that's nearby. It's this guy, the Lift Monk. There we go. Here's another tip. You'll see these trees in the world. When you see the trees, they'll have fruit on them. These fruit give skills to your pals. So here's a water fruit, dark fruit, and another water fruit. So they can give your pals fairly powerful moves, but you don't have to use a type of fruit that matches the pal. Like, you can use this water fruit on a normal pal or a fire pal or any type of pal that you have in your party. It doesn't have to be specifically water. And then that right there in that bush, that's an egg. You can get that egg and use it to incubate to get a pal. So let's go get that Tansy real quick. That's another good one to have for your base. Hopefully, that's a boss right there, that Chillet. Hopefully we don't trigger the boss fight while trying to get this Tansy. Okay, wonderful. Now let's go back to our base and deploy our new pals at our base. And I can show you their work skills. And there's actually a fast travel spot right up here. That might be more beneficial. I'm gonna get this egg real quick too. Oh, that's a dungeon right there. Okay. And then here's what the fast travel screen looks like. You can go to any of the fast travel points or your base that you have unlocked. Okay. I need to build a crusher. Let's see if I even have it unlocked. I do not. I'm not level 8 yet. Okay. Well, let's build a bed real quick, and then we'll reorganize our pals. Okay. You can see here the Pingullet's good. It has water and cooling, handiwork, and transportation. The Gummoss is good if you just want a pal to solely focus on planting and growing seeds. Liftmate is an all-around good one because you got planting, handiwork, lumbering, medicine, production, and gathering. And then Tansy for planting, handiwork, lumbering, transporting, and gathering. So that's why they are all good. So I'm actually going to replace one of the Catvias, and I'm going to I'm actually going to add a Tansy here. And then you have a fairly automatic base. You'll have someone that's able to do just about anything you need. So that's it for the base tutorial. I hope you all enjoyed. I will do a tutorial on good early game pals here in a little bit. Thank you again so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And then follow me on X, TikTok, and Twitch for more content like this. Thank you all so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And remember to create something great.